Hi everyone, it's Linnea, and I'm so excited to be bringing you my first video using ThermOWeb products. I've been asked to join their design team, and of course I jumped at the chance. I love their products, and I'm so excited for this. So let's get started here. I'm going to be using the new Rainbow Shattered Glass Foil, and this will be available come the middle of March for purchase. It's gorgeous. You're going to need it, so keep watching for that release date. I'm using the Gina K Stamp and Stencil Petals and Wings die set. I use this little leaf, and this will also be available in a couple weeks. So I use that die, and I die cut a bunch of them from double-sided foam adhesive from DecoFoil. This is a thin foam adhesive that die cuts like a dream, and I have this idea to build up a background using them. So of course I'm not going to let anything go to waste. I have this piece that I die cut all my leaves from, and I'm going to just press that down onto this rainbow foil because I figured I have this whole panel that I die cut these little leaves from, so why waste that? So I'm going to be using that on a card, not for this video, but I set it aside. I have a 3-year-old, so my crafting time is limited. So I did make 3 cards in this video. I just couldn't squeeze out a couple more, but this is an idea for another one that you should definitely take advantage of. So all I did was press that rainbow shattered glass foil from DecoFoil onto this double-sided foam adhesive. And I'm just peeling it back slowly, and you can see here I missed just a couple areas where I could peel off that whole backing sheet, I thought in one piece, but these little areas kind of snagged a little bit, but no worries. I just went back in, removed that backing, and I'm making sure to press this foil into the piece really well. And then as I remove this foil, you're going to see I'm left with this gorgeous background. And all you have to do is just peel off the other side and use that on a card. And you have a quick and simple little card there. So I'm also going to be using what's left of this foil because you can see all those little leaf shapes that are left there. I don't know if that's the negative or the positive. I always get confused. I think it's the negative, but I'm definitely going to be using that. So here was my original idea for the card, is to die cut all these little leaf shapes, remove the foam, the backing from the foam adhesive, and then pick up that foil. So I'm doing the same thing as before, really pressing this into the Rainbow Shattered Glass Deco Foil, and you can see this gorgeous rainbow of color. So I'm making sure to kind of twist and turn these leaf shapes up and down the foil to get that gradient of color. I'm trying not to have any one leaf be just one single color. I did end up with that a couple times, but for the most part you can see that they have a gradient of color on them. So I have an A2 sized card, and I have laid out these little foam die cuts the way that I want them to be. And you guys, I'm going to tell you this foam adhesive from DecoFoil, they don't mess around. This is super sticky. These die cuts are not going anywhere. But that being said, the first time I removed that backing, it stuck to my fingers quite a bit. So I'm wising up here, and as I remove the backing, I'm only removing a little bit. And then I'm going to hold the die cut where the adhesive is not showing and stick it down, and then just pull back the backing little by little. That way my fingers don't get stuck, because I was finding I was kind of stretching the die a little bit, and I'll cover that up later. But that first one, I kind of stretched it so that it wasn't the exact true to form shape. So you can see there, all I did was just remove that backing as I was laying the die cut down onto my card. So like I said, I'm going to be using this negative space from where I took that large foam piece and adhered the foil to it. This is what's left behind, and it's gonna be kind of hard to do anything with this, but I certainly wasn't gonna throw it in the garbage. So I have this iCraft with ThermOWeb Ultra Bond adhesive. This is my first time using this adhesive, so I didn't know how it was going to perform, but it is super strong, and it is so crystal clear. This is my new go-to glue. I love it because I was afraid that it was going to squeeze out onto the clear areas where the foil wasn't, and it was going to show, and it doesn't. I actually went back after I glued this down onto my A2 card. Once I thought it had dried, I was finding that the edges were peeling up, and kind of leaving little bits of that foil behind. So I went with that Ultra Bond adhesive, stuck the little pointy tip underneath the edges, and went all the way around, even where it is clear and you cannot see this adhesive. So that's super awesome. Okay, so once again, I have the Gina K Designs Petals and Wings stamp set. And I was finding that this double layer butterfly was kind of hard for me to align. So I used the negative space from where I die cut to help me line that up. I have a piece of purple tape on the back, and then I grabbed the stamp, lined it up with that negative space from where I die cut, stamped minty green a couple times just because I like complete coverage. And you can see there that I have it lined up perfectly. So I'm going to do the same thing with the second layer. I used the negative space and lined up the stamp with it, and then put the purple tape behind it, popped that die cut in, and there you go, perfectly stamped little images. Okay, so I'm making 3 cards. This is the first one, my original idea with all those foam die cut leaves. And I have a stamped scripty sentiment. I cut it up into 3 separate pieces and stacked the sentiment. And I'm going to be using more of that Ultra Bond adhesive and my T-square ruler to make sure that I get that straight. I have 3 butterflies here from that Gina K Stamp and Stencil Petals and Wings stamp set. And I'm going to be just kind of fussing with them, getting them where I want them to be arranged. In the end, I did adhere all 3 of these down, but if I could repeat this card, I would only do the 2 on the right and on the bottom left, because I think that third one kind of looks strange. Okay, so here I have some foam squares from Gina K, and these are also new to me, but I love how this little box just dispenses these foam squares, and these squares are thick enough to give some dimension, but thin enough that this card is still going to go through the mail, no problem. So this one is my second one where I use the Ultra Bond adhesive to glue down that extra foil. And you can see there that I added, this is after I had gone and added that adhesive all around the edges. And you can't see it at all. I added it straight on to where that clear backing to the foil is, and you can't see it at all, which is awesome to me. So I'm going back to my first card, just snipping off the edge of that butterfly wing. 2 cards are done. All I have is 1 left. And this one is literally just using up my leftovers. I had 1 leaf left. I had 1 butterfly left because when I stamped more than what I thought I would need, and I ended up using a bunch, but I still had 1 left. So I thought this would be quick and easy just to throw together a 3rd card. So let's take a look at all 3 of my cards featuring this rainbow shattered glass foil from DecoFoil. It's gorgeous, it's stunning, I love it. I love the shine and I love the sparkle. You can head over to the ThermOWeb blog to see still photos, and I thank you so much for joining me. Bye!